Shabbat Shalom. I am Rabbi Lauren Werber at Congregation Beth Adam in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I am happy to share this Shabbat with each of you. For those of you who share in our Shabbat services often, you see that we are in a different location this evening. We're in the process of having our HVAC, our heating and air conditioning units, replaced, and my study is a much warmer space on this day than the sanctuary is. So for today, we are creating our space here. We begin with one of our reflections. At other times and other places, we may feel fragile and alone. Yet here across space, we join together to find strength as we look with wonder at the universe and seek our place within its vastness. We take these moments to lengthen our perspective. We take these moments to question and explore. We take these moments to awaken our imaginations. We take these moments to draw strength as we allow ourselves to dream. Together, we share the challenge of an ever-changing world, a world often beyond our control, incomprehensible and frightening. We seek to find meaning, ease our fears, and understand our purpose. We share the burden and the blessing of responsibility. How good it is to be together in this way. Hine Matov.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Night seeps up from the ground. Light falls from the stars, distant, icy, ancient beyond all who came before. But the light of the Sabbath is warm. The light of the Sabbath is ours. The light of the Sabbath is of this time, of this place, of lives that know the past only in a dream. As we kindle these lights, we create a place of warmth. As we kindle these lights, we welcome this time for reflection. As we kindle these lights, we stake our claim. And while these lights burn, this time is ours. Baruch ha'or ba'olam, blessed is the light within the world. Baruch ha'or ba'adam, blessed is the light within each person. Baruch ha'or ba'Shabbat, blessed is the light of Shabbat. These words are slightly adapted from the poet Rich Orloff, and they feel especially appropriate in these often painful times. This is a slight adaptation of his poem, A Prayer for the Courage to Feel. Do we have the courage to feel the sorrow? Do we have the courage to fully grieve? Do we have the courage to make space for our rage? Do we have the courage to admit our fear? Do we have the courage to yearn for a better time, knowing some of our yearnings won't be met? Do we have the courage to forgive life for being far more difficult than we expected? Do we have the courage to have hope, to accept that the future is unknown, to allow for the great mysteries, to believe in the possibility of light? We hope for the courage to face each day. We hope for compassion when we can't. We hope for the courage to let others see us as we are. We hope for the ability to feel love, even in dark times. And we hope for the day when together we can make peace. Na'aseh shalom ba'olam. We will make peace in the world. We will make peace for us and for all people.
נעשה שלום בעולם, נעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם, ואמרו אמן. נעשה שלום, נעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם. נעשה שלום, נעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם. נעשה שלום, נעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם. נעשה שלום, נעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם. נעשה שלום, נעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם.
This is our last streaming service before we celebrate Passover. So I'm going to share a very short story. I don't even know if I should call it a story, a storylet, very short story that is connected to Passover in a certain way. It's out of the book A Different Night by Noam Zion and David Dishon. And it is a story referencing the Passover instruction that we see ourselves as if we were enslaved in Egypt and then set free, that we place ourselves in the story and hold that memory. So this is a story that comes out of Iraq. And I don't know if I'm going to read this very, very short story or tell it or something in between. But it's an old Iraqi story about a faraway country where the king was always chosen in a very special way. When the old king died, a bird called the bird of good fortune would be released from its cage and free to fly around. And whoever's head the bird landed on would become the king. The people would place the crown upon the head of the person on which the bird landed, and that person would be the new king of the kingdom. Now, once the bird of good fortune landed on the head of an enslaved man. This man had been a simple musician who entertained at the master's parties. His costume consisted of a feathered cap and a belt that was made out of the hooves of sheep. When this enslaved man became king, he moved into the palace and he wore the royal robes. But he also did a strange thing. He ordered that a shack be constructed next to the palace, and that his old hat and belt and drum be placed inside the shack along with a mirror. This new king was known for his kindness to all people, rich people, poor people, people of all types. Often, he would disappear into this little shack. One time, he inadvertently left his door open, and the cabinet ministers saw what he was doing. They saw him put on his feathered hat and his old belt and turn and dance and drum, all in front of the giant mirror. They found this very strange and asked him why he was doing this. After all, you're the king, they said. You have to maintain your dignity. The king replied, "Once I was enslaved, and now I have become a king. From time to time, I want to remind myself that I was once enslaved, lest I grow arrogant and treat with disdain my people and you, my ministers." As Passover approaches, we remember that same humility, placing ourselves in an ancient story and remembering that once we too were enslaved, and perhaps in some ways we still feel we are. We turn now to remembrance and to another Beth Adam reading. Now the world is different, emptier and strange, but you never leave me floating through my mind. Before you were out there. Now you're in here with me. A room full of people, but when I look, I can only see them faintly beyond your face. I'm listening, but I can barely hear them on the other side of your voice. And when I speak, I hear your cadence in my voice. And when I turn my head, I feel it settle at the angle you left vacant. Now, as I reflect, I recognize your thinking shaping my own thoughts. The world is different, and I don't need to hold on to you. You will never leave me. We remember all those we have loved as we say the words of our memorial. For those who know it, join along from home. Ein bidei hamavet hakoach la'kor shetamun balev. Death cannot take that which is locked in our hearts. With our tears and our sorrow, we remember. With our courage and our strength, we do not forget. Acts of kindness, deeds of courage will remain. Beauty created, wisdom shared is not lost. With our tears and our sorrow, we remember. Im demaot beinenu, be'tavlenu, nishmor al zecher ahuvenu. With our tears and our sorrow, we remember. Zecher tzadik livracha. May the memory of good people bless our days. Return to wine, our symbol of joy. As we lift this cup of wine, tribute to life's enchantments, may we find joy and contentment in our human endeavors. Bruchim ha'chaim ba'olam, blessed is the life within the world. Bruchim ha'chaim ba'adam, blessed is the life within us. L'chaim. Our closing song, the Shabbat, is a very simple one. Bim bam, Shabbat, Shalom.
Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom. bim, bum, bim, 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 bum, bim, 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 bum. Bim, bum, bim, 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 bum, bim, 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 bum. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom.
May we know blessings those who are near. May we know blessings those who are far. May the Sabbath bring its goodness to everyone soon, wherever they are. May we know blessings through the day. May we know blessings through the night. May health be for all children. All things soon be right. May we know blessings in our comings. May we know blessings when we depart. May we live each day with peace and wisdom in each heart. Ken Yehi Ritzonenu, may it be our will, and may it be a Shabbat Shalom, a Sabbath of peace. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat